Yes. Okay. Let's sit in meditation first. So let's sit in a comfortable posture. Let's interlock our fingers, cross our legs, and close our eyes, and observe our beautiful, natural, tranquil, easy breath that is naturally flowing within us, that is happening within us, which we need not control, which we should not control. The natural flow and the natural rhythm of that breath, let's observe that. And while observing the breath, let's go into deep states of meditation. All we have to do is to observe each and everything, each and every experience in meditation. So observe your breath. If any thoughts come to you, keep coming back to your breath and just relax. Observe your thoughts as well, like a witness, and come back to your breath. If any sensations are happening in your body, just observe them. If any experience is happening in your meditation, just observe it. Observe your breath. Observe everything. Observation is our nature. Being a witness is our nature. So let's just observe. Let's become one with our breath. Let's connect with the message. Let's realize the energy that is flowing within us. Let go of everything and just be with your breath. Let's meditate with music now. Thank you. Last 3 minutes. Slowly come back to your awareness. Last 3 minutes. Last 10 seconds. Last 5 seconds. If you would like to continue your meditation, please continue your meditation. If you would like to come out of your meditation, keep both of your palms on your eyes, and while looking at your palms, slowly open your eyes. Thank you so much, Masters, for joining this group meditation and making it so beautiful, so full of energy. Thank you. So today we are going to listen to the third message in the breath series. So the name of the message is Observation of the Consciousness, and it is a message from Sri Rama. So it is one another very beautiful message. It is filled with love, and in this message, Master Sri Rama, he shares his experience which he had when he observed his breath. So I would like to read it for all of you. It goes as follows. It is a natural behavior to observe our breath. It is a natural behavior to observe breath. It comes to us naturally. Evolution is traveling from our densest part to the lightest part while observing our breath. At first, we observe the densest part of us, then we slowly evolve to observe the lightest part of us. That is the journey through which even I went through. This is the journey everybody goes through. When I started observing my breath, I got to observe various parts of myself. The ones which I used to really hate, the ones which I used to be very afraid to face, the ego within me, also the love within me, the oneness within me, the greatness of the divinity, the creator who I am, and so on. I observed each and every part of myself. I observed all dimensions to my consciousness, and I am still observing. Your journey of observation will go on to infinity. In your observation, you will experience the divine silence, and that is the true nature of the existence. So, that is the message from Master Sri Rama. So, like he says, through when we observe our breath. So the feeling which I got after receiving the message, I'm trying to share that with all of you. So what I felt was what that master is trying to communicate, is trying to convey, is that when we observe our breath, we are able to observe the consciousness, and this thing that observation of breath is observation of our consciousness. This was shared in the previous messages. So when we are observing our breath, so ultimately we are observing our consciousness, which makes us aware of various dimensions within our consciousness, be it the denser parts of it or the lighter parts of it. So we get to observe that we are, who we are, and what we are, that is we are our being. So we get to observe that, and breath is the way to become aware of our consciousness. So it is really important to not I mean, even the word important will not suffice, but it is it's a very natural part of us. It is very natural of us. During the course of evolution, we try to understand who we are. So in order to do that, we have to observe our breath. So in order to explore our consciousness, to understand it, to become aware of it, we need to observe our breath. So when we observe our breath, we get to explore a lot of different dimensions to us, and slowly, like Sri Master Rama has said, what I understood, that at first we observe the densest parts, because it's we discussed, right, that when we observe our breath, three happenings happen during meditation. We observe our breath, then our thoughts stop, and then the energy flows. So when we observe our breath, obviously the thoughts, which are the denser parts of our consciousness, they get released, or the silence increase, and then we get to observe the more and more lighter parts of us, which we and our being in its purest consciousness. So that's what the feeling was when I received the message, and it was so great to listen to Master Rama saying that even he also went through the same journey like us, and he had some things in which he hated in himself, or some things he was really afraid of. Even he evolved by understanding love, oneness, and divinity. Even he released his ego. So all of these things, and whenever we see, we were taught that all the gods, they are just divine, and they are just divine from and it's us who are lower than them, but the gods are higher than us, and they're divine just like that. So they but here when we read Sri Rama's message, we understand that even he did a lot of inner work, and even he learned a lot of lessons while uh, during his process of evolution. So that was just very grounding and very wonderful to listen to. So yes, this is the message, masters. So let's observe our breath, let's observe our consciousness, let's become aware of it, and let's explore more dimensions to ourselves. So and ultimately let's experience the silence, and like Master Rama says, that it is the true nature of existence, that the silence, it is the true nature of us. So let's keep on evolving and celebrating. Thank you. If anybody else would like to share something, share their wisdom, their experiences, anything, please go ahead and unmute yourself. Thank you. It would be great. Yes, Sharda ma'am.
Hi, Madhu.
Hi.
Say masters. So it's a beautiful sharing from Sri Rama, isn't it? So beautifully he expressed it. And the best part is he expressed his weaknesses also. So we think that God himself is great. So what you shared is so true. But for that achievement, how they success is there, how they achieved is through breath, by observing the breath. That's what we all we sayings that they do tapasya, means they meditate. So for many eons they meditated and they become the creators only by observing the breath. So beautifully you shared. And yes, few last year, yes, and last year July I received messages from Sri Rama, the 7 laws. In that 7 laws, this consciousness is also one in 7 laws. So at that time, what I received, I would like to share. I received from Sri Rama. So it's the 7 laws were given to me in through visions. So each law, one golden pen I used to envision. I used to see one golden pen. It's like a paintbrush, big paintbrush. It is used to write letters. So whole message it is used to write letters. So I used to see those letters and used to remember, okay, these are the message. But I don't know who the master was giving to me. But later on, after 1 week, maybe 10 days, I got to know in dream that these messages are given by Sri Rama, these 7 laws. So one of those is consciousness. So this consciousness, I got a message through vision. So some through vision and some that golden pen used to come and write. So this vision is a 10 years girl. She was so afraid, sitting alone, and was very frightened. So when I saw this girl, so I asked her, why this girl is so in fear. So then I got a message that we are pure consciousness. This was the message which I received from Sri Rama. So we are pure consciousness. We are soul. We have to connect to our own self. We have to still our mind to connect with the soul. For self-realization, we have to connect with our divine self. So this was the message as received from Sri Rama, and now with your sharing today, I observed the density part. When you are reading the message, I felt the density part is our mind. The lighter part is our soul.
Yes.
So when we still our denser part, when we still our mind, so obviously that means the thoughtless state. So when we go to the thoughtless state, so it will connect to our self, the soul. So he said, always be with yourself. Though we meditate or not, not only in meditation, in awareness state also, we have to connect ourselves with our soul. Even when we are doing anything, that's what, when we observe our breath, we can increase the mindfulness, the concentration on what we are doing. So this was the message which I would like to share. So thank you, Madhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful knowledge. And yes, from what I read, there are 3 levels to the consciousness. That is the mind, body, and the soul. Mind is the densest. Body is lighter than the mind, but it is also somewhat dense. And soul is the lightest part of our consciousness. So that even I read it in the books. So yes, absolutely. And from what you have, the consciousness, the law of consciousness, it connects so beautifully with this message. It is like a beautiful addition to the message. So thank you so much. And also, yes, the gods are gods because they realize their divinity through their breath. So that is what I felt when you were sharing. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Madhu. He said that, the line he shared, that what I like the most is, for self-realization, we have to connect with the soul. So this line really touched my heart. So we can realize ourselves when we connect to our soul. That is the true realization, I felt.
Yes,
yes. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for the great experience sharing. Thank you so much. Anybody else would like to share something? Please unmute yourself. Yes. Anything, any experiences or wisdom or something that you resonated with, you can go ahead and share with all of us. That would be great. Yeah. So all of these messages that we have been receiving, they really highlight or makes us focus onto the point that we have to be with ourselves, we have to center ourselves, and ultimately we have to be with our breath. When we go inner, then our absolute and ultimate evolution will start. So observing, I didn't know that observing our breath had this much that this is this great, and it had so much this process, this anapanasati meditation, or the breath awareness meditation. So I didn't know there was so much knowledge within it, and that observing our breath is like observing our consciousness. That is so new for me. So now when we will observe our breath, We will observe it with much greater knowledge, with an awareness, with a new awareness. And when we will do that, it will be more powerful, when knowledge comes into our awareness, our evolution becomes so much more faster, and we are progressing so beautifully. So yes, that thing really makes me happy. Yeah, thank you so much. If anybody else would like to share anything, you can please unmute yourself. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. I think the experience sharing are over now. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining this session and making it much more beautiful with your presence. And this is a beautiful knowledge that is flowing during these sessions from the masters or from all of the members that are joining. So please go through the previous messages as well. It will really bring a lot of light to you on be it on light onto the knowledge of breath. So it's a must, so just go through it. Yes, thank you for writing in the chat box. Thank you, Rakshaji. Yes, thank you. So please go to through the previous messages as well. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining this session. So tomorrow morning, the morning meditation will happen at 6 a.m. Germany time, 9:30 a.m. India time, 5 a.m. London time, 11 p.m. CST. So please join that meditation as well and contribute through your presence. Thank you so much. Thank you, one and all. Yeah. So shall we end the session then? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.